The ROG Ally was one of my absolute favorite devices in 2023. Honestly, it's what made me get rid of the Steam Deck, and I know the Steam Deck fanboys are going to come after me like, how dare you talk about King, peasant? But nonetheless, I loved it. I didn't love the abysmal battery life, or the overheating issues, or even the micro SD card frying capability that this thing had. But after a couple modifications, putting in an 80-watt battery and changed out the sticks, TMR6 and whatnot, this is still one of my favorite devices to use. And this is in 2025. However, this is the one that I'm ultimately going to be using, bar none. This is the ASUS ROG Xbox Ally X. I know, it's word salad. It's a whole lot. But this right here is one of my absolute favorite devices, and honestly what I think is one of the best handheld gaming PCs on the market. Is this an Xbox? Yes, but it's not the Xbox that you think it is. A lot of people are thinking this is going to be literally the exact same thing as an Xbox on handheld. No. But if you understand, as I've done a podcast and several videos talking about the direction Microsoft is going, which basically, if you don't know, TLDR, Xbox is going the way of Microsoft Office. If you don't remember, Office used to be exclusive to Windows. And then it eventually went over to Mac, and then eventually went to Linux and all these other platforms. But it was originally just one thing, and you had to go on Microsoft's Office, or you had to go on Microsoft just to use it. But then, they opened up and it's a service. Xbox is kind of the same thing. So if you're expecting this to be like the golden era of the 360 in your hands, no. Xbox is a service now. And they give you the option of having hardware, but then you can use anything to play their games. But this is the most optimized gaming PC. That's not a Steam Deck or anything using SteamOS. We're going to talk about why this is so freaking phenomenal, and why I think even with that price tag of $1,000, this is something you're going to be gaming on for many years to come. With that being said, thank you to ASUS for sending this over to me. And let's go ahead and get into this review. So ASUS teamed up with Xbox to merge console comfort with PC power, promising twice the battery life, next-gen AMD performance, and full Windows 11 compatibility. All for $999, or let's just be frank, $1,000. But is it really worth it? Now, the first thing that stands out with this is the design. ASUS nailed the premium feel, smooth matte finish, subtle ROG branding, RGB rings around the thumbsticks, and ergonomic Xbox style controls. It's better balanced than the first Ally thanks to a new internal layout and improved grip texture. Even though it's packed with more power and a bigger battery, it honestly doesn't feel clunky in hand. Now, the durability is incredibly solid too. The thumbsticks are rated for 5 million rotations and the ABXY buttons for 10 million presses. Now, front and center is a 7-inch 1080p display running at 120Hz with FreeSync Premium. It's bright, smooth, and crisp, perfect for everything from indies to AAA titles. Now, I know there's going to be some people that are going to be like, oh, why didn't they put an OLED on this? Because they look at the Legion Go 2 and this got an OLED and 1200p and VRR and all this other stuff. Well, here's the thing. Do you want great battery life and a decent screen? Or do you want brilliant and beautiful screen but subpar battery life? That's really the difference you're going to be looking at. There's other things too. I mean, this has 24 gigs of RAM, and then the Legion Go 2 has 32. However, you have to go into the BIOS and change it from the dedicated 2 gigs that it's going to give you and up it on the Legion Go 2, whereas this, it's just out the box. Everything is really what you need. All right, back to the review. Now, when it comes to the audio, it is superb. It's handled by dual smart amp speakers with Dolby Atmos support, and it sounds absolutely crazy. If you want to hear how loud this is and how crisp and clear, then this clip right here is going to be for you.
The legend continues. Round 1. Get ready. Fight.
Now let's talk about under the hood. Under the hood, the ROG Xbox Ally X. Yes, it's a mouthful. I hate saying that. I mean, let's just call it the Xbox Ally. It's simple. Just keep it simple. AISS, keep it super simple. It runs the AMD Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme chip, which is a custom Ryzen APU with built-in NPU for AI tasks. ROG claims up to 30% better performance than the previous Ally X, and in real use, games like Battlefield 6 as well as Tekken 8 and many others run incredibly smoothly without the fans just ramping up and running like crazy. So yeah, it's much better performance overall. You also get up to 8,000 megahertz of memory and faster load times and smoother multitasking across Windows 11 and Xbox apps. And what's cool is if you want to swap between applications, all you have to do is press the Xbox button here and hold it, and then you can cycle through different things that are open. And what I love about this too is that with how Microsoft and ROG have worked together to make this custom overlay, interface for the Xbox Ally X, it effectively kills the processes of applications running in the background. So we all know Windows is very resource heavy and pulls and is constantly doing a whole lot of things, but with this, it kills all of that in the background. So really the only thing that's running is your game. And also when you put it to sleep, it actually puts it in a low power mode. Whereas if you were to do this with the other handheld gaming PCs, they don't do that unless you custom loaded the Xbox full screen experience on there. But as it is, that's a game changer. The Ally X packs a massive 80 watt hour battery, delivering up to twice the playtime under similar loads. And with ROG's zero gravity cooling system, the handheld stays cool no matter how you hold it, even upside down or on its side. And that's the thing, I was playing Battlefield 6 and it's crazy how much is going on in that game. And I'm thinking, okay, the fan's gonna ramp up, this is gonna feel burning to the touch, but this never felt hot. Just mind blown at the fact that this thing stayed cool all the way through. No matter what I threw at it, it was just running cherry, as we say here in Hawaii. Like, I didn't experience this heating up or just feeling like it's going to be burned to the touch. Now, I felt that a lot with this one until I did a lot of custom modifications, which, fixed that. But with this, no, not at all. I barely even hear the fans. Even if I take it up to 35 watts, it still is not crazy loud. Whatever they've done, whatever technical wizardry they've done to make this as it is, please keep doing. The only thing I wish this had was hair trigger stops for the triggers, but we can't have everything. So you get sustained performance without thermal throttling, which is something the original model honestly struggled with. Now let's talk about connectivity and ports on this device right here. Now on the top, you get a USB 4 Type-C port with Thunderbolt 4, DisplayPort 2.1, and Power Delivery 3.0 support. Now there's also a second USB 3.2 to Type-C port, a 3.5mm audio jack, and a micro USB Type 2 slot for expanding storage. And if you want to go beast mode, you can connect it to the ROG XG Mobile dock, pushing graphics up to an RTX 5090 laptop GPU. Now let's talk about storage and expandability. Now, there are two different models of this. There's the Ally X, which is this one right here, which is in black, and then there's the Ally, which is white. Now, the Ally, the Xbox Ally, only has 512 gigs of storage, but you can up that if you can get an M.2 SSD through the cloning of the original drive, and then there you go. But it's only got that 512 by default if you're not going to tinker with it. The Xbox Ally X has 1 terabyte. It's M.2 SSD, and if you want, you can always put up to 2 terabyte, or if you want to modify it, then you can really put a 4 terabyte M.2 SSD in here. But to me, the 1 terabyte is more than enough storage. Now, speaking of the M.2 SSD, which is a 2280 SSD, it allows you to swap it and letting you upgrade your storage without cracking open the entire shell. So you don't have to do anything too crazy if you want to increase your storage. That's a huge win for the longevity. But then again, majority of these handheld gaming PCs have that capability. So it's not exactly special in that aspect, but it is something that is there if you want to utilize it. As there are many titles such as Starfield, Call of Duty, Battlefield, and more that absolutely eat up hundreds of gigs of storage, especially Call of Duty. Now, let's talk about the Xbox integration and the ecosystem, because this is something a lot of people are curious about, and I've seen a lot of misleading videos and articles where people are either confused as to how to present this in the review and talking about it, and, oh, this isn't an Xbox. Well, again, you have to understand what Xbox is now to really be able to say that. But let's go ahead and talk about this whole Xbox UI and the integration, the ecosystem and everything. So this handheld isn't just a Windows machine. It's deeply integrated with Xbox. It runs Windows 11, but boots into the Xbox full screen experience, making it feel like a console right in your hands. Now, it does come with Xbox Game Pass Premium, although it should come with Ultimate, but it comes with Premium, which I guess is, their way of, hey, try it out and then figure out if you like it. But it should have come with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. But anyways, let's get back to it. You get access to Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Cloud Gaming, and Remote Play from your home console. ASUS also launched a handheld compatibility program to highlight games that run best on the Ally X, so you won't have to guess what plays well on it. Which is, if you want to compare it, it's kind of similar to what Steam does with the verify for Steam Deck, even though that system was broken for a bit, but now you understand. So let's talk about the triggers, and let's talk about the buttons and the sticks and everything like that. So it doesn't have the Hall effect sticks that the ROG Ally X had, which is I don't understand why it doesn't have that. It should have it. I think that's a big miss. But if anything, if you do get stick drift, you can either reach out to them or just do something simple like go on Amazon and look up the sticks, and it's an easy swap out. I swapped out because I ultimately got stick drift on my original Ally, and it literally took me like 6 minutes total to swap out both sticks and put in some new TMR ones. Yeah, just think of it like that. You're not that likely to get stick drift. I know potentiometer sticks, a lot of people are like, oh, you're going to get stick drift and you need to get Hall effect sticks because you're not going to get stick drift, but Hall effect sticks can still get stick drift. They're also not entirely accurate, but personally I would say just get TMR sticks if you're going to replace the sticks on here. But nonetheless, the sticks are fine. The D-pad is absolutely fantastic. If you play fighting games, I play a lot of fighting games, primarily fighting games. I play a lot of 2D games like old school retro style, and I play a lot of RPGs and shooters. But this D-pad is, if I compare this to the one that comes on here, the original, this is phenomenal. But this is also the same D-pad that is on the Xbox Ally X, or no, not that, but the ROG Ally X. So it's just so good. Like everything, any Dragon Punch input, Fireball, Core Circle back, pretzel inputs, everything feels good. So me playing Tekken, Virtua Fighter, Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, doesn't matter. It runs absolutely pristine on this, and I can't complain. The D-pad is great. The sticks feel great. I felt like they were way more responsive compared to the original Ally, and I just don't have any complaints. And yes, as you can see, I do have the Control Freaks on here. So if you want to use Control Freaks, don't feel bad. Throw them on there. They're great if you want to pick some up. I'll have some links in the description down below. But yeah, this right here, love it. The triggers always felt great. The triggers feel just as good as they did on the original, if not a little bit better. The only thing I wish it had the trigger stops so I could actually like do hair trigger. But I understand, maybe not everyone used something like that on the handheld, so it is what it is. But I personally would have preferred it. The buttons feel great. I think they feel a lot better than the original Ally. And I don't get that mushy feeling when they got stuck. On the original Ally, they would get stuck sometimes, but they don't on this one, so I'm very happy for that. And then the modular buttons on the back, I don't have any complaints about it. They're smaller, easier to actuate when you're doing that, because it fits where your ring fingers are, compared to how excessively large and unwieldy they were on this one. Wasn't a fan of the original locations and size, but I do personally prefer this one. I think it was absolutely goated. All right, so we got to talk about the pros and the cons before we wrap up this review. So that being said, let's go ahead and start off with the pros. Now, with the pros, we got the Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme processor with massive performance boosts, 120 Hz FreeSync display, 80 watt-hour battery with zero gravity cooling, USB 4 plus Thunderbolt connectivity, Xbox integration plus Windows 11 flexibility, and it is just phenomenal. Now, the cons. Off the top, this doesn't really apply to me. Mainly because ultimately I have to send this back, but I've already bought one that's on its way. It's just delayed because it was sold out. Plus shipping to Hawaii is a pain in the ass. But I have one I already paid for. It's on the way. This is a review unit and I gotta send it back. But for me, I don't think the $1,000 price is a con. People will feel that that's a con because that's a lot of money to spend up front. But nonetheless, it is something that I think will be a deterrent for some people. They're going to be like, why should I pay this much for this? But it's the thing. You can either pay this or you can get the, last year's Ally X. You can get the cheaper Ally, which I don't think anything's wrong with it, so long as you're not playing anything too intensive. Or if you can find the original Ally, then, fine. You can get the original Ally for under 500. I mean, I've seen people sell it on Facebook Marketplace for like 200 and 300. The Ally X for like 500. And, if you prefer that, that's an option. But yeah, for me, the price is not a con. I think the Legion Go 2 price is a bit too much, but I get it. The OLED screen and the higher resolution, detachable Joy-Cons, so it's going to cost more. But for me, the Legion Go 2 price, I ain't really feeling it, plus with the weaker battery life. But with this, $1,000, it wasn't anything for me, but for a lot of people, that can be a negative. I think the other thing that people will find as a negative with this is the fact that it is bulkier than, almost every other handheld on the market. But it is what it is. I mean, for me, it being heavier means it's more ergonomic, but I don't feel like it's heavy. Like, yeah, it's heavier than this, but I mean, maybe because I lift, this is all to me subjective. I think it's super light, but that's me. Some people, this might be too heavy. Although the original Legion Go was heavier than this. So keep that in mind. And I think the other thing too is the Xbox, the expectation people might have is thinking this is going to be straight one-to-one Xbox experience. It's not that. And also that the Windows updates can interrupt gaming flow. So if you haven't updated everything, which I recommend when you first get this, run all updates, connect it to a power source, run all the updates within the Armory crate, as well as all your Windows updates, and then you should be fine. If you don't do that, yeah, you're going to have a lot of interrupted gaming experiences, or some games that just flat out won't run. But to me, it's not a negative, but I have to mention that just because some people might find that to be a negative. But all that being said, let's talk about the final verdict for the ROG Xbox Ally X. So is the ROG Xbox Ally X worth it? Honestly, if you want console simplicity with PC power and next-gen AI hardware, I think that this is the handheld to beat in 2025. Granted, I have not tried the Legion Go 2. It is on its way from Lenovo. When it comes in, I'll do a review on it. But as it is, I think this is the handheld. Outside of, honestly, the handheld for 2025 is Nintendo Switch 2. I'm not going to cap on that at all. That is the handheld of 2025. And honestly, the handheld overall, I don't really see anything else beat it. But if you have a massive Steam or PC gaming library, this is probably the best experience you're going to get. Period. Best battery life, best overall performance, and honestly, probably the best support you're going to get too. Especially with Xbox backing them for this. So that's my opinion. The battery life, it's finally where it needs to be. The build is rock solid. The display is a stunner. It's not cheap, but it's powerful enough to replace a gaming laptop for many people. So yeah, ASUS and Xbox might have just set a new standard for portable gaming PCs. Now, that is my review of the ROG Xbox Ally X. What do you guys think of it? Have you picked it up? Do you enjoy it? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to pick this up, it will be pinned to the YouTube video, as well as affiliate links down below. No additional cost to you guys. Helps out the channel if you use my links and purchase it. And all that being said, let's get the conversation going down below. Again, thank you to ASUS for sending this over to me. And yeah, I got to get back to gaming. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and Julio.